Hey Darius, thanks for taking the time. I have a Kobe-related question.
Yeah.
Being it's 8:24, um, over the summer on social media, there was an Eagles fan that painted the sign of a barn, all dedicated to Kobe and to you. It wound
Uh-huh.
up on your story, so my guess is you saw it.
Of
Um,
course.
I found the guy, and he's a massive fan of you and him. Normally, this is something I'd ask you individually, but this is how we have to do it. So. Um, what'd you think of what the guy did? What'd you think of his efforts? And does that surprise you, being that he's that nuts about you, Kobe, and the Eagles?
Hey, I appreciate it, man. True fan right there. He did a great job too. The drawing was amazing. Honestly, man, if I knew where he was at, possibly I go sign his garage where he wrote it at. Go sign it, and whatever I need to do. But that was amazing, man. I appreciate it. For him being a supporter of me and Kobe, and and the Eagles. Yeah, like I said, if I knew him where he was at personally, I'd probably sign it most likely.
I know where he's at, so if you want to take a ride, we can
Yeah, I
make
could
that
pull.
happen.
I could
Uh,
pull up anytime. Anytime. Just let me know.
Thanks.
We'll go Jeff and then Bo.
Darius, so you've covered Jalen Rager a fair amount so far in camp, and uh, you can see sometimes after a route, you'll go talk to him and say something. He mentioned as much I think last week to us. What's some of the advice that you're giving a young receiver like him who clearly has ability? And does he remind you of any certain type of receiver? Anyone in particular?
Oh man, he really his own self right now. He got his own identity. He's a great player, man. Man, I just teach him what I can know, man, to help him beat guys. I feel like I'm one of the elite guys in the league. I compete at a high level, and when me and him go up against each other, man, I want him to be at his best to help this team win. But he's a great player, man. He works hard. He got a good drive. I'm looking forward to seeing what he do on the field.
Bo and then Daniel.
Hey Darius, as a veteran, even though this is a new team for you, how do you balance like going all out in practice versus just sort of trying to make sure that you're getting yourself ready for week one?
Okay, hey, it's Slay, not
Uh,
Darius. I hate
oh,
Darius. But
yeah.
say again. I'm playing.
Just like your approach as a veteran, you've been in the league for a while. How seriously do you take camp versus just sort of making sure that you're getting your body and your mind ready for week one?
I take everything seriously when I'm on the field. I'm old enough to know my body, the mental reps I need to get. If coach want to shorten up practice, I know how to get my mental reps in. I know how to take walkthroughs a certain way. I treat walkthroughs like game reps for the first couple steps. So I've been professional for a long time, and I learned from some great guys that I've been with in Detroit that taught me the way to practice and the way how to approach the game. And so they had set me pretty good. So I'm prepared for whatever I need to be done.
Daniel and then Ed Kratz.
A lot was made about all the moving parts in the secondary this offseason with Jalen moving to safety, you coming in, and the communication. How do you feel like you guys are doing in terms of getting on the same page back there in the secondary?
It's been great, man. As in me coming in, Jalen and them boys, Mills. I don't can't even call him Jalen. He'll get mad at me. Don't tell him I said Jalen. Mills. Man, we do great communication, man. Them guys took me in under their wing. We set the standards. They got a high standard, man. I love about it. They push us to be the best. Got high expectations for the group, and we just love the ball, man. I like guys that be like being around the ball. They got their mind right. They moving forward, and we communicate well, man. The communication going well, But here and there, little mental errors, but we always go pick up on it.
Ed and then Kristen.
Hey Slay, just want to how about the defense as a whole? How do you see it coming together? It looks like you guys are pretty far ahead of the offense at this point, and there seems to be an assumption that that's the way the season could start, with defenses ahead of the offenses. How do you see this defense coming together so far?
It's gonna be amazing, man. It reminds me a lot of my 2014 team, honestly, in Detroit. Got great D line, great young linebacker core that can run, stretch the field. Got a good secondary that got great leadership. That's been in the league 8 years. Got guys that been in 4 years. Got guys that been in 3. So it got the same. It got a great mixture, man. So I guess and we got great leaders, man. We got great leaders from the front end to the back end. So from there on, we just got to keep moving forward. We know what it takes. Them boys done been there to the Super Bowl. I haven't, so they know what it takes. And me coming from Detroit and coming in and feeling that energy they bring to practice, how they approach practice, it's a different feeling. And like I say, I look forward to the season, man. I can't wait to kick off. And right now I'm gonna continue to do is get better, to do what I need to do to help the team, and get ready.
Thank you.
Kristen and then Dave.
Okay, Slay, since we're not doing first names, I will ask you about Maddox. There it is, Avante Maddox. So, entering the NFL, reached out to you because of that Detroit connection.
Can I hear you? Yeah, kind of went out a little bit.
You got me here now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So Avante said that when he first got to the NFL, he reached out to you because he used to watch you in Detroit. Obviously, now you guys are playing together. I'm curious if you can elaborate a little bit on your relationship now that you guys are playing for the same team on the same side.
Oh, man. He had reached out to me right when he got drafted. And he saw me training at his high school, working out some kids at his high school that he went to. And with him being the Detroit guy and me being in Detroit, so he's been watching me for a minute. So I just gave him, he hit me up in my DM. I'm not one of them guys that, ignore DMs like that. Definitely a player. Definitely I can help with give advice that, I gave him advice, great advice. I watched him a couple of games. I watched his film and, told him what he could do better, helped him out. Like I told him already since I've been here, I'm here to make you, a great player. I'm here to be your study guide, learn everything I need from me, and I'm trying to make you the best player you could possibly be. My goal is to always make him better than me. I want him to be a better player, better everything than what I did. So that's always my goal for my young guys because you got to lead them, and some guys need good leading, and I think I'm doing a great job at doing that with him, Sydney, Rasul, all the guys that's young. So I'm doing a pretty good job leading them the right way.
Dave and then Tim.
What makes Nickell Robey-Coleman such a good nickel corner?
He's aggressive, man. He's a great guy that got good ball skills, willing to tackle. Even though he looks small, he's really to put his head in there and go forward. He compete every play, and he's in my draft class. I think we got the best draft class in the NFL 2013. DB draft class is the best.
Tim and then Damo.
You had mentioned before how with the Eagles, you're allowed to everybody's allowed to be themselves. Can you explain why, especially in modern day NFL, why that's important to you?
It's just important because, a lot of guys got different characteristics, Like me, for example, I'm a goofy guy that might don't seem to make everything look serious, but I'm pretty serious. But I just like to have a smile on my face. A smile kind of brighten up anybody's face. Somebody could be having a bad day, but me coming in with a great smile and, could just change somebody's day. You don't know what people go through while they ain't at work. And to come here and have freedom, be around your guys, be around the sport that you love to do, you got to enjoy it, man. It's not a long ride. Some guys are blessed to play 20, some guys are blessed to play 3, 5, whatever it is. So at this time, I try to enjoy it the best way I can. So I come in, have smiles, and then have fun, and that's what a lot of stuff that's what you need in the locker room. They can be themselves so they can go out there, mental error, if it is one. We got the teammates behind your back, right down behind you, just like supporting you. It's just a great feeling.
We have time for a few more, so let's go Damo, Martin, and then Mike Gregor.
Darius, you were asked about Avante a little bit ago. Avante's 5'9". That's not very big for an outside corner. There aren't a lot of them in the league. When you see him and watch him play, why is he going to be fine on the outside?
Because his ability to be quicker than a lot of guys. He got great ability to be quick. And if you know him personally, like he got a lot of bunnies. He could jump pretty high, for 5'9", and he could tackle. He aggressive, quick feet, smart player, and he make plays, man. I'm looking forward to watching what type of season he have, man, because he been putting a lot of work in. Me and him been on and off the field, communicating, working on the drills, anything. So like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what he produce on the field this year, man. I'm gonna be excited for him.
Go ahead, Martin.
Oh, hey. I was actually going to ask you about Avante, but since you just answered it, you covered Jalen Reagor on that one-on-one drill early in practice today, and I think you said something to him afterwards. Can you kind of describe, what it was like covering him and what you said to him?
Well, what I said was because I heard somebody on the sideline said back shoulder. So I looked for the back shoulder, but it's kind of, I guess, like somebody kind of tricked me or something like that or whatever. and he kept going. So he made a good catch, man. That was a terrific catch, by the way. He caught it with his fingertips. But that was basically what we were just talking about. I told him that was a good route, man. I told him he got some wheels. He's pretty fast, and we just chopping it up, kind of like giggling, playing it off, man. So like I said, I was out there just trying to make him a better player, helping me become a better player, and we continue to keep working.
We'll finish up here with Mike Gregor.
Mike Gregor.
Hey, Slay, how you doing?
What up, Mike Gregor?
I just wanted to ask you, I talked to Footwork King. We hear from a lot of your teammates just about the sense of swagger that you bring to the room. Just wanted to talk, is that something that you think you bring to the room? And if so, how important is that to just improving the overall secondary?
Oh, man, it's great. I got a lot of swag, man. I was always taught to come out there with swag. Definitely DBs. We got the hardest position out there on the field. And it's the quickest way to lose, the quickest confidence, So you got to have it, man. You got to have swag about you. You got to have that determination. You got to have that I'm going to go out there and go compete every play no matter what the next play come in. So I do bring that energy, I'm very confident, being very, very consistent, and that's what makes me a great player because I've been consistent. It's not that, I'm making like crazy plays. I made the play that supposed to been given to me. And, so that's what mostly about, man, being consistent. And I'm going to bring that swag to it, bring the laugh and the giggling and the excitement, the playmaking ability. I'm going to bring all that to the table, and that's the goal.
You got any handshakes or celebrations you've been working on?
Not yet, not yet. I'm going to figure them out, though. Some of them guys already up there. I need to go ahead and join the party, find my handshake. But it's coming soon, though. When it's coming, everybody going to see it, though, because it'll be swaggy.
Yeah. Hi, Dallas. Want to ask about just in general with the team being able to do you think you're going to be able to get what you need to get accomplished? Given the abbreviated off season, which really was nothing, and no preseason games for you guys, and then in your case, having a little bit of an injury setback.
Yeah, starting with the team, it's been a completely different year for us, for everybody around the league. Not having the off-season program to kind of get the rust kicked off. You had a lot more rust coming into the training camp, but I think we're in a good position right now. The way the coach has been installing, harping on us with the walkthroughs, the practices, I feel like we're picking it up really well, and I think we'll be more than ready to go week 1.
Chris and then Jeff McClain.
Nate, Dallas, I have to ask you, with the addition of all the speed in this offense, how effective can the tight ends be with all that speed out there, with Rager and Deshaun Jackson?
Yeah, it should be fun. If the safeties want to get back and cover them, hopefully Zach and I can have a field day, work in the middle, the short to mid-range game. And, it's always a blast seeing Deshaun, Jalen Reagor, some of the other young guys just flying down the field, Carson launching, and then being able to run under it. So being able to have that speed is going to help us tremendously.
And then Bo.
Dallas, clearly a confident guy, and I imagine you foresee yourself as a number 1 tight end in this league. After the Kittle and Kelsey contracts, there's been a lot of discussion about Zach Ertz getting that second deal. If he were to get that third deal, if he were to get that extension, would you foresee room enough for you to be here and sign your own long-term deal?
Yeah, gosh, Kittle and Kelsey signing those contracts have really helped out the tight end market, so that's always amazing. Thanks to those guys. But, Zach deserves a contract here. He's been here, been a top 3 tight end in the league. Personally, I believe he's the best in the league for the last bunch of years. So he definitely deserves whatever he's about to get. And, I just got to let this year play out. It's not even time to worry about the future. The last 2 years, me and Zach have been here. Both played really good football. We've been in the playoffs. And, I think we can do whatever we want when that time comes. But, for him, just excited to see what he can do.
We'll go Bo and then Rob Motti.
Hey, Dallas, of all the things that are different this year, like, coaches wearing masks, the locker rooms being moved around, what's been the weirdest one? What's been the hardest to adjust to?
Man, we also have these little contact tracers that we have to wear at all times. And when we're in the building, just remembering to put those in your jerseys, take them out of your jersey, put them back on. That's probably been like the most inconvenient. I've had to walk back into the locker room multiple times to grab that. But then just wearing a mask all day, something I've never really done. The back of your ears start to hurt, but it's a simple thing to do to help keep us, the team, the whole league safe.
Hey, Dallas, I just wanted to follow up on what Jeff asked you about the contract situation. How much do you pay attention to what Kittle got, what Kelsey got? Do you guys talk about that? Do other tight ends in that fraternity talk about that and say, like, they really set the bar for us and this is going to change the market?
Yeah, I think as a player, especially when guys like that get signed, you always know who the top money makers are at your position. You know what the top money is. And, you just, after Kittle got signed, you go in and you say, man, you see what he got? And it's like, yeah, that's awesome. Good for him. Happy for those guys. Happy that the tight end position is seen as more valuable. That's kind of the main things. But, you definitely see when big names get signed with big numbers.
We'll go Les and then Zach.
Hi, Dallas. I was wondering, did you suffer any physical after effects from that incident in the bar? And, did you have a concussion or anything out of that? And where does that stand as far as you got to go to court anywhere or anything like that?
No, I haven't had to deal with it too much. The next day, I was perfectly fine. They put me through concussion protocol just to be safe, but I feel great. Happy to be here. Happy for this season to get going.
And how is your thumb? The first day of practice after I saw you had trouble bringing down a ball, is it hindering you a lot?
It's just something that I got to get used to. It'll be gone or healed up, hopefully, by the time the season starts. But for right now, I'm just playing without my left thumb, so it takes a little bit getting used to. But in the day, from yesterday to today, I feel like I've came a long way just getting used to the feel of it, how it affects different things.
We'll go Zach and then Jamie.
The way you were used the past years, is that how you
I can't hear.
Being used again this season? And is there any moment in the way you play? Hey, can you hear me now? Sorry, you can go on to someone else. My connection's not very good.
Okay, we'll go Jamie and then we'll go back to you, Zach.
Dallas, what have you been impressed with so far? There's a lot of new guys you're watching. What do you think of the rookies? Jalen Reagor, Jalen Hurts took some snaps with the second team today. Can you talk about what you've seen and what's impressed you?
Yeah, I've been impressed with a lot of the rookies on both sides of the ball. There's been a lot of impressing. Starting with the tight end room, Noah, he's been unreal. He's picking up the playbook really fast, puts his head in there, really tough guy. He's been making some plays. But, yeah, Jalen Reagor, his speed, his explosiveness has been really fun to watch. Jalen Hurts, I knew he was a good quarterback in college, but I didn't watch him a ton, saw his highlights and whatnot. But he can throw a really good ball. He's probably faster than we all expected. And then some of the other younger wide receivers are doing a great job just being able to win when their numbers called, be able to make contested catches and things of that nature. But just everybody that's been out there, we've been working really hard, and everybody's been getting better.
We have time for a couple more, so let's go Martin, Dave, and then Zach.
Hey, Dallas. I was wondering, where do you think you need to improve the most, heading into, this being your third season and everything? What areas would you like to see your game progress in?
Yeah, it's just the same thing every year. You got to get better in all aspects. That's the great thing about playing tight end is we block and we catch the ball, do everything. One thing that I can definitely get better at is just my pass pro. I was pretty good at it last year, but sometimes your feet get out of whack. And usually you're blocking someone that all day, every day, that's what they try to do is get to the quarterback. So just being able to get my feet right, get my hand placement a little bit better. There's a lot of little things that I can do to improve my game.
Hey Dallas, you kind of mentioned that you're kind of rooting for Zach to get an extension. How has that relationship between the two of you evolved? It's been kind of a unique situation, you coming in as a high pick when there was an established guy here. How has that relationship evolved, and how competitive are the two of you?
Yeah, it's been a really good relationship. Zach's helped me a ton along the way, just telling me different things about defenses that he sees, to the way he just carries himself in the building each and every day. He holds the tight end group to a very high standard. He's out there every day competing as hard as he can, which as, someone else in that group, you have to do the same thing. So he holds us to really high standards, but our relationship has been great. I feel like we help each other out a lot. When we're in the game together, we can play off each other. We can change up the positions we're in. If one person wants to do this, if one person's tired, they can move over here. If we like a matchup more, we can flop around. So I think being able to play alongside him has helped us both.
Zach, how's your connection?
Hey, Dallas, can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, great, thanks. Yeah, so the way you were used last year, is that the way you anticipate being used again? Or do you think there's more, I guess, do you think there's room for more 12 personnel going forward?
Yeah, if it was my decision, I'd have 12 personnel on the field every play. But that's up to the coaches to decide. But all the tight ends, and we're out there, our main goal is just to win every rep we have, and that's all we can control. But, compared to last year, I think they will find new ways to get us both involved, new ways to move us around in the offense. And, I'm just excited to see everything they do just completely unfold when we get to week 1 against Washington.
Hey, thanks for joining us. I was just noticing today the defense, you guys seem to have a ton of fun out there. Jalen Mills had a couple interceptions, doing somersaults in the middle of the field. How much fun are you guys having so far in camp?
We're having a lot of fun. We're getting to know each other. We've bonded so much throughout these couple of weeks of camp. It's been, just cool getting to know the guys more, getting to know what, people like. And, we just coming together, we're doing everything as one. And so, with that, we just always tell each other, let's have fun in the midst of everything that's going on.
So Zach and then Chris Murray.
Hey, Nickell, at this stage of your career, what are you trying to get out of a practice? Are you trying to work on something in particular? Are you trying to show the coaches things? What's your objective going into a particular practice?
I kind of just try to send a message to my teammates just to let them know that I'm willing to sacrifice and do whatever it takes for my team to win, no matter if it's taking snaps on special teams or, giving a look to our offense. Just let them know that I'm being resourceful for the team, and just let them know I'm always here trying to get better, having a clean, intense, being competitive, and just coming every single day, just bringing the same energy, bringing the same focus, and just letting my teammates know that I'm a professional and I love the game.
We'll go Chris and then Dave.
Yeah, Nickell, my question to you is how does guys like Sean Jackson, Rager, and Zach and Dallas Goedert, how does that prepare you guys, for the upcoming season?
Yes, those guys are elite. So whenever you're going against elite players like that at practice, you got to take advantage of it as a defensive back. They push you so hard. They are attacking you, attacking angles on you that's not normal. And so getting work like that day in and day out is just going to make us a better team. We talk about it in meetings, DB meetings, of how these guys attack us and how we try to come back, counter their movements, and just and also make them better as well. So having guys like that that's elite, that can move you in different ways, and you go out there and you can defend routes and get some PBUs or get some interceptions. It just shows the growth that we have on defense and how much potential that's to come in the near future.
We'll go Dave and then Jeff.
Hey, Nickell. It seems like maybe this is just my take on it, but you can let me know if I'm right, that nickel corners in the NFL don't necessarily get the pub or even the money that the outside guys get. Does that bother you? And why do you think that is?
Well, I just know like nickel DBs, they just kind of like undervalued. Like nobody never really used them before because it's a different position rather than your traditional in the past history, you had more I formation. And the only time you really got in like 3 or 4 wide receivers is like true passing situations. But now the league has changed so much. I feel like the nickel position has came a long way. It's getting a little bit more attention, but not the pub that it probably should get. But that's not for me to control. I just take it for what it is, and I just look at it like, I want to be the reason why it does get more value. I look at it that way.
We'll go Jeff and then Daniel.
Darius Slay obviously has a lighthearted kind of personality, likes to joke and smile a lot. What have you made of that? How does it affect the DB room? And do you have a funniest story yet of hanging out with Darius? Something that he's done that's really made you laugh?
Well, Darius is real, upfront dude. He's very he's a realist. He keep it real with himself. He know where he at. He know what he can do and what he can't do, and that's what I like about him so much. He's just naturally funny though. Like the things he say, certain things he say, about about his play or about getting one of the rookies right. Sometimes you just laugh. He's just naturally funny. He don't even really notice it sometimes, but it's just cool. But I think one of the coolest memories so far is Darius Slay made banana pudding. His wife made banana pudding for all the DBs, and it was so good. It was very delicious. I want some more right now.
Daniel and then Rob Motti.
Hey, Nickell, coming into the secondary, what was your first impression of Rodney McLeod as a leader, and what's it been like to kind of get to know him, as a player and a person in that room?
I really like his game. I like the fact that he knows where everybody's supposed to be. He's like a quarterback on defense, and I love that, especially as a nickel, because my safety is like my best friend in the inside. So me and him is always talking. I pick his brain a little bit, ask him questions, and he's pretty spot on. Just his routine, his daily routine, day in and day out, is what a true professional should look at. Any rookie, young guy that's coming up, they should definitely look at the way that he take on the day, the way that he talk to people, the way that he talk to coaches, the standard that he set for the DBs, whether if we like it or not. He just want greatness for everybody other than himself. And that's like so cool because everybody's not like that. And so the fact that he comes with a mentality of being great and just being the best day in and day out, and the way he go about it routinely is very interesting to me, and I like it.
Rob and then Bob Groats.
Hey, Nickell. So we found out today that the Dolphins are going to be able to have maybe 13,000 fans at their season opener. We still don't know what each team's going to be able to do. How much of a competitive advantage and disadvantage do you think it would be? One, for the teams who can have fans in their stadium, and then those teams who might not be able to have any all season long.
Me personally, I'm a defensive guy, so I need fans. I love my fans. That's a big edge. People don't know how much that affects offense. It affects receivers, especially when the momentum is on the defensive side. You can really get in. It becomes a mental game almost. The fans yelling, the crowd's going crazy. People are just raving, And so you can get caught up in that, and it can go like it can lean towards the defense sometimes. Sometimes it can lean towards the offense. So it can go in both ways. But it's definitely a big advantage to have your own home fans in the stadium cheering. So I really hope that Philadelphia can come up with a plan to let the fans in the stadium. I hear all the whispers about how the Eagles fans is when things get rocking in Link. So I hope they make an exception and try to get some of our fans in the stadium, because it's going to really work. Like it'll really affect other teams big time. I really feel that way.
Hey, Nickell, Bob Groats here. You've had, your teammates are the two quarterbacks that are taken 1-2 in the 2016 draft. Well, how are they similar and how are they different? I know it's been a little bit early with Carson, but you've been around a lot of quarterbacks. So what are the similarities and differences?
Carson, well, first off, they are great players. They're both great players with great minds, and you could tell that they're more fifth level, sixth level type quarterbacks, and they're definitely on the rise as far as being a Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers type quarterback when they get up in more experience with the years. But the difference is, I think Carson, he takes a lot of ownership. Carson takes a lot of ownership. He's willing to be the guy to make the play. He's willing to be the guy to appoint his teammates. When he first saw me, he knew me by my first and last name. So it's like I didn't even expect him to know my name, but he knew exactly who I was. And so it's little stuff like that really makes the difference. Him, the way he warm up, his preparation. I see him warm up before practice and just seeing his routine and seeing how he get his day going, and just being very observant, and he got his mind right. He got his mind locked in, and but I would definitely say the ownership and the accountability part is what gives him his edge.
John and then Kristen.
Hey, Nickell. Curious what you've seen from, obviously the pass rush and coverage is sort of coupled together. You guys can help the pass rush and vice versa. But when you have a defensive line that's been getting the kind of pressure those guys have been getting, does that enable you to be more aggressive in coverage?
Yes, definitely. Because we could tip our hat on the D-line to get home. And we know if they run their stunts and they get home, now, ball going to come out a little quicker. Now we can, think faster, take all the thinking out. We just know the ball will be out. We can key the quarterback quicker, and we can either get hands on the ball or we can get more interceptions. And that's that's when, the secondary marries up with the D-line, when we can, get home and also get our hands on footballs, punch out, rake out, whatever, and create some turnovers for our offense. So I definitely think them getting home affects the offense so much, to the point where on the back end, we can kind of pin our ears and break on the first in cut or out cut that a receiver makes.
We have time for a few more, so let's go Kristen, Les, and Bo.
Hey, Nickell, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but we've seen you make some nice pass breakups going one-on-one with Deshaun Jackson so far in training camp. What's it been like specifically going one-on-one with him, and how are you guys kind of working to mutually get to your best for the start of the season?
Yeah, I just went up to him, and I just went up to him, and I just told him, man, I want to be great, and I want to go against other greats. And so he was like, yeah, man, we're going to get that work. And so when we got into one-on-ones, we just compete, being very competitive with each other. And, at the end of the rep, we'll just talk about what we was thinking, what did I see, what did he see. And, and that right there is like, like he told me, he said he want to be better coming off the line in the slot. He want to be better being in the slot, with releases and everything like that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm here, because I feel like I'm, one of the best slots in the game. So I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, I can definitely get you better. And I said, I want to be better on the outside, outside. And so he was like, yeah. So we got some reps, outside. So that right there is just like team camaraderie. Just, that's chemistry right there. Us, coming together, offense, defense coming together and just being a family, but also making each other better and pushing each other. Rather, if it's a bad rep or a good rep, it's something to learn from.
All right, let's wrap it up here with Les and then Bo.
Hey, Nickell. Any of the receivers really surprise you? Anybody that you've really taken note of that you've gone up against that you didn't know much about?
Yeah, the rookie, number 80, I think his last name number 80, I think he's Hightower. I think his last name Hightower. I don't know. But number 80, the rookie, he pretty good. He beat me on the rep today, but I was kind of surprised how he did it. And Greg Ward, I like Greg. We've been going at it a lot in the slot. I didn't know much about him when I got here, but after doing my research and studying him, I like how crafty he is. And Rieger, he came out the gate flying, so he's looking good. But for the most part, I like Greg and what he have showed me so far. When we going in one-on-ones and when we get in team periods.
Just to clarify, 80 is Quez Watkins. He's the one who played
Watkins.
today.
That's Quez Watkins. Q. Yeah.
Of all the things that are weird this year, like coaches wearing masks on the field, the bracelets you have to wear. What's been the most difficult to get used to? What's been the weirdest thing of your day-to-day life now?
The mask. The mask is definitely, because I go anywhere and I get out my car and I take like 3 steps and I be like, oh, gotta get my mask. And then so I turn around, gotta get my mask. Like, it's like little things like that. I think the mask is the big part because sometimes coach be talking and he be having the mask on. I be like, what? Whatever. Okay, cool. So sometimes it's hard to hear what the coach saying. Sometimes you gotta pull it out. He don't pull it down, but he pull it out and talk just so he can have more clarification with what he's saying. But I think that's the biggest adjustment is wearing the mask, though.
Hey, Joe. Good to see you. I noticed the last couple of days I've seen you at 3 technique. I saw you at Joker today. Are they trying to increase your versatility, or is that just something you've been wanting to do? How is that working for you?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Throughout camp, we've had, guys out of practice for, just different reasons and kind of just, balancing the reps for guys. And, at the same time, I want to be able to rush, from anywhere on the D-line. So, those reps are valuable to me too. Just getting some experience at 3 tech and learning to rush in there. So it's been a little bit of both.
We'll go Bo and then Daniel.
Hey, Joe. I think that over the last 3 years, you've probably had more reps against Jordan Mailata than anybody. What have you seen from him over the course of the 3 years? What do you see from him this summer?
Jordan's a great guy. I think he's improved a lot, I would say. I think we've improved together. I have had a lot of reps against him, as you said. But, I think we've helped each other to get better each day. And Jordan's a guy that comes out there and works hard. He's always worked hard, so I have a lot of respect for that. And like I said, I think we just continue to work with each other and help each other improve in the right direction.
We'll go Daniel and then Les.
Hey, Joe, how tough was it to watch last season after the injury, and what was the rehab process like, to get you to where you are now? I guess, how do you feel physically at this point?
Yeah, it was a disappointment when it happened. But, I thought about it that way for about 24 hours. And after that, it's time to attack the rehab, control what you can. And throughout the year, I did everything I could to get back to where I was prior to injury or even better. And thankfully, I had, a lot of great help with the strength coaches and physical therapists and surgeons and resources. So thankfully my rehab went great. I couldn't be happier about how I'm feeling today. It was tough to watch last year, because obviously I had high hopes of being out there and helping the team, but that's also football. Some things you can't control. Sometimes there's going to be injuries. Sometimes there's going to be setbacks, but it's really just about how you respond to that. So I just decided to attack each day, and I'm still continuing to do that and trying to improve every day.
All right, Les and then Damo.
Hey, Joe. As hard as you've worked here to get back and do this, how hard is it not to have preseason games? You're in a position, you're not like Brandon Graham or, Derek Barnett, where they kind of pencil you in. Is it much more difficult for someone like you to make his case in these practices, you think?
It's definitely a different year, but that's just kind of, what it's going to be this year. We're going to have to be able to adjust, to whatever the circumstances are. So, yeah, it'd be nice to have some preseason games and, go out there and show what I can do. But at the same time, now our preseason games are practice, so I have to make the most out of my reps that I get in practice and the opportunities that I do get, and, let the rest take care of itself, When I get an opportunity, I'm going to give it everything I have, and that's what I can control. So, that's what I'm going to do.
Go ahead, Damo.
Yeah, Joe, you come back, you've got a new position coach. What's that been like? Does it make a difference to you? Does he teach a different technique that you've had to adjust to, or is pretty much similar?
I've had a few different position coaches since I've been here. I would say that our position coaches this year, Coach Burke, Coach Washburn, and Coach Ali, they've done a great job. Every position coach is different, but I would say that working with Coach Burke and Ali and Washburn this year, they're all very detail-oriented, and I feel like they care about us all as players. They really, put effort into helping each one of us succeed and play to the best of our ability, which I, really appreciate. So I think we can have a great year as a room, as a defense, as a team. So I feel really good about it.
Do we have any other questions for Joe? All right.
Hey,
Thanks for time. Go ahead.
Quickly, Joe, just of all the things that are different this year, coaches wearing masks and the contact tracers and stuff like that. What's been the weirdest thing? What's been the toughest to adjust to?
Oof. The toughest to adjust to has been no sauna, no steam room. You use that every day before and after practice, and I'd say that's the one thing I miss the most, the biggest, change. But there's been a lot of changes. It's just about adapting and, taking, whatever the situation is and making the most out of it. We can't wait to get on that field in a couple of weeks, so it's going to be a good year.